I'm going to start off. I'm going to repurpose a presentation that I do just on hunger in general. So if it sounds very academic, it's because I instruct, so it is. And then I'll get into what the Mid-Ohio market is and why we think it's a valuable resource here at the college. And then I'll demo a little bit both how to utilize the market on your own, how to find services in your area if the market is not a convenient place for you to visit, and also how to volunteer if you are looking to get back on that side of things. So I'll go ahead and I will start with this here. And I want the start from the beginning button. After 10 months, you'd think I know how to do this, but here we are. And so I'll just kind of talk broadly about what we call food insecurity in America, and then how we look at it in a higher education context. So food insecurity, which is a technical term that we use within food banks and within student support, is defined by the U.S. Department of Agriculture as a lack of consistent access to enough food for a healthy and active lifestyle. We differentiate this term from hunger or poverty because those words are very vague and lack clear definition. I think we all experience hunger every day because, we might not be able to, eat at the times we want to. And so we want to instead use a metric which looks more at reliable access to the food that we want and need. And right now we know that, generally speaking, best data that we have, and we don't have good data for since the pandemic began about a year ago, but we know the last good data set we have found that about 1 in 9 Americans were food insecure, which comes to about 37 million people, and that the food insecurity rate for Ohio and Franklin County both sat at about 13%. The best data that we have is that we have added potentially 3 to 17 million additional Americans to those that we are concerned about for food insecurity. And I was just on a call with the National Food Bank Network, and they said that food bank meals given out increased 40% from 2020 to 2019. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be out of the job anytime soon. The focus on food insecurity in higher ed is a newer attention area that we have found recently. College and University Food Bank Alliance, CUFBA, had probably less than 10 members 10 years ago and now boasts over 70. So the movement towards colleges offering food banking services is a new one, and it's one that Columbus State is trying to pioneer. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But the most recent survey that we have found that 44% of 2-year and 38% of 4-year college students reported food insecurity. I feel like there's this almost played for laughs stereotype sometimes, where it's like, oh, when you're in college, you're a starving student and you're going to be in this, you're just going to struggle all the time and eat ramen. And I feel like there's not enough examination that that's not okay. And that's not really the way that we should look at the college experience, and particularly young adulthood. And it really also dismisses the experience of a lot of our students that are student parents going back to school for retraining and really do need supports that aren't academic. And that's okay. The college can provide them. We have the resources. And so we really hope that we can do that through programs like the Mid-Ohio Market. The largest food safety and in terms of fighting food insecurity program is the SNAP program, and it's colloquially known as food stamps. If you know somebody who's been on it or you're on it yourself or anything, it probably is not shocking data, but the amount of food allocated per person for food stamps monthly sits about $129. Some of that has changed with some changes in the law around COVID-19. One of the most recent changes has been changes to how students are considered for food stamp applications. And right now, our understanding is if your FAFSA claims that your household has an expected family contribution of $0, that there are ways for you to enroll in the SNAP program that were not available in the past, and the college can't help you with that. So if you're interested in signing up for food stamps through the college, I will have my contact here. Talk to me directly, and I should have some information about that soon. But that programming is going to launch in the next week or so. Well, probably longer, but we are having conversations about that in the next week for how to do that, because these are very recent changes for the SNAP program. And so we hope that Columbus State can be can assist you, if not helping you with the application itself, but telling you where to go. Some other government responses to food insecurity that we've had: the WIC program, things like National School Lunch. All of these are government programs that we hope to be able to provide resources around, if nothing else, to at least understand how to navigate them. We are working with Franklin County Job and Family Services to hopefully provide increased resources on having access to people to understand the application process, and then how awards are determined and things like that. So those are also programs that the college are providing through our student advocacy department. But I like to open with those because those are usually our first step recommendations that we have for students that are facing food insecurity. And then food banking is the obvious one, and that's where I work. And so I wanted to find two terms real quick, and that is a food bank and a food pantry. Most people use them interchangeably, but there is a difference between the two. The large one being that the food bank is a warehouse that distributes food to the community, and the food pantry actually does the distribution end. So there is one food bank in Franklin County, and there are 15 in Ohio. And so that is Mid-Ohio Food Collective, previously known as Mid-Ohio Food Bank. And they are the logistics arm that comes to supplying the majority of the food pantries in the area. And so in October of 2019, leaders at Columbus State and leaders at Mid-Ohio Food Collective came together to found the Mid-Ohio Market Program at Columbus State. It was founded on the relationship that Columbus State would provide the staff in the building, and that Mid-Ohio Food Bank would provide the food. And as a result, there would always be a resource on campus for students to receive food assistance. The idealized version of this was that it would be a grocery store experience. Essentially, students would be able to leave campus on their way out of class, stop by the market, grab a few things, and take that home. And then we also work to serve the broader community as well. We have seen some good responses from students in terms of using the market, and the community has also, we have found, was a really underserved area, particularly with grocery store access. And so we were very proud of that, and we logged 14,277 services in 2020. And that's how many visits that we had to the facility. So obviously with COVID-19 and the fact that campus is not fully reopened, we have continued to offer service, and I will show you how you can sign up for that service or give you the times for drop-in after we're done with this PowerPoint. That's next on my list. So we do have some limitations of food banking. This is mostly just interesting information. Food banks reach approximately 25% of those who are in need, and the food bank system represents 3% of all meals in Franklin County, which is kind of crazy to think about when you think about how busy, you know, you see these viral videos and viral pictures of these food bank lines. You think it's really only 3% of meals given in Franklin County? And the answer is yeah. The food system is massive. And so we try to do our small part to help our students in our community during this time. And we really are proud of the work that we've done and the way that that has stepped up. So the way that we look at it now too is how we are potentially augmenting different services the Mid-Ohio market provides. We know that food waste is a large problem in the food supply. Good data shows that between 30 and 40% of all food grown in America goes right in the trash, which is terrifying to think about. But when you really start thinking about it, it does sort of make sense. And so we hope that through federal food assistance, through things like our SNAP programs and other direct cash assistance, and then the help from the charitable food assistance, which comes from the Mid-Ohio market, that we can hopefully help you have healthier choices with eating, have improved health outcomes with our students, and really help you not have to worry about food as a concern while you are working on your degree or certificate here, because all of this is oriented towards degree completion. The college has a saying that everything we do goes back to student success. And so we really think that the Mid-Ohio Market is a student success tool to help you with non-academic barriers that you could be facing. End of that slideshow, and I'm going to hit the stop sharing button because I'm good at this, and then we'll go on from there. Is all of that, any questions, anything, drop in the chat or unmute and just let me know before I go into how to sign up as a student. That's a lot of info at once, and I know I talk really fast, but okay. I will move in then to the next part here, which is to explain how Cougar prepare. We do have some prepared meals. Some of them, it depends on what we're getting from our suppliers. So a lot of it is ready to eat right away. So we'll have things like apples and oranges and things like that. And then we are getting some prepared meals. So we got salad kits in on Monday. It's just depending on what we're getting from our sources. So hopefully that's how we cut down on waste. We also try to right size everything so that way we're not giving people 30 pounds of apples. Instead, it's probably closer to what family sizes can actually use. So that process is definitely ramping up, and we will have more prepared meals in the future based on conversations that I've had.
Are you going to talk about volunteering and stuff like that?
Yes, that's my last part of the presentation, is how to volunteer. So we will explain that as well. I'm going to actually start that to make sure I don't miss it. Okay, so I want to pull up. You think after this many months, I actually don't have a lot of online meetings because of I've been running the market, so you'd think I'd be better at these things, but I'm not used to using them. Okay, share content, Blackboard, there we go. So when you log into Blackboard here, thought I had this logged in, but apparently I didn't. Helps if I spell things right. So when you go into Blackboard here, off to the side, you will see this little tool down here called Starfish. Starfish is the general listing of all of the non-academic or academic and non-academic supports that the college offers. And so generally speaking, when you want to make appointments or work with a counselor or work with scheduling or an advisor or something like that, Starfish is the success network that we use for that. Now, Mid-Ohio Market has its own module here in Starfish, which is right here. And this links to how to schedule an appointment with the program. I do want to preface by saying you do not need a appointment for service. So if you show up and you're like, wait, I didn't schedule, we'll be fine. We don't, with all this craziness going on, we're not turning anyone away. But this will give you the instructions for when you arrive at the facility. And if you want to just drop by, we also encourage that as well. So if it's kind of a spur of the moment thing, like, oh, I've got free time, I'm going to come down to the market, absolutely, we will serve. So we offer curbside location at 400 Grove Street, which is across from the WD. It is the side of campus that is closest to 670. So that area is 670 off Cleveland. So we're kind of tucked away in the corner because we are in an old maintenance facility. But we are located there at 400 Grove Street. So if you're just trying to find the facility, throw that 400 Grove Street in your Google machine, because Mid-Ohio Market at Columbus State will not pop up yet. I'm working on it, but that process is harder than I thought. And our service hours right now are Monday and Thursday from 11 to 4 and Wednesday from 3 to 7. And these will be the service times throughout the entire semester. If anything, we will add more, we will not reduce. So you can reliably know these will be the times we're open. We will probably have some hours on the weekend as well. If you want to tune to our social media page, which is Mid-Ohio Market of Columbus State, we will have updates with that as well. And we will try to get campus-wide emails out about them. So this is the system that we use to schedule the appointments here. You schedule an appointment with me as though I were an advisor. It's just how we had to do it on the back end. And then that's this pick up a Cougar Box option here. There are some other services that can be offered through the Mid-Ohio Market. We are going to do distributions around certain holidays. Last year we did a Thanksgiving distribution, for example, and we will do that again next fall. But we are probably going to try to do some things closer to spring break and closer to the end of the semester. And we will have communications out as well. Or if you visit the module here on Starfish, you will see those as options. So you'll have this where you'll pick up a Cougar Box and they will load the time slots. You can schedule with me as often as is needed. So don't feel like if you take a time slot, it means somebody else can't have it. Up to 15 people can sign up for each time slot. So just keep that in mind when you're going. This is mostly scheduling on the student end of things. And this will show you the times that are available for each Cougar Box availability that we have. And so if you select 3:30, you'll get this confirmation here. In this little box on the side, this is where you can offer anything that you want us to know before you get there. So if you are a vegetarian, or if you are, there's certain things you're not going to want. Like, hey, last time I was there, you gave me a 10-pound bag of potatoes, and I'm never going to get close to using that. So please don't give me that again. That is, you'll want to put that here in the reason for visit box here. And so that'll be where you can customize and use those kind of things. At that point, then you'll confirm the appointment and you'll get an email confirmation there. If you need to cancel your appointment, that is fine. And we do encourage, though, that even if you need to come at a different time, just show up. Like, I think I've kind of tried to make it clear that we're not real strict here and that our goal is to serve, not to deny. And so that's really our hope for using the service. Now, if the Mid-Ohio Market is not convenient for you, as in you don't live near campus, or you don't have an in-person class, or the times just aren't great, we do advise you to check out this website here, which is LSS 211. This is an old system that Hands-On used to operate, and now it is operated through Lutheran Social Services. And this is a really good resource for just whatever services may be in your area. And so you can start with just putting your zip code in. I live in Hilliard, so we can go with 43026. And let's say I am 31 and I am male. They don't have an other button. That's great. If I was looking for food bank, that's under emergency food. Down through here. And that will tell you what is available. So for emergency food, there's food pantries, and then you are served with a list of results. So number one is Hilliard Community Assistance Council, where I worked for 3.5 years. That's the reason I always highlight them. And this will give you, for any charity that you're looking for, their hours of operation and their location, and then any potential restrictions that they might have. Right now, most charities are not enforcing their zip code limits, but you'll want to check with the organization before you arrive sometimes. Although if you see it on here as a service, it is most likely the case that they will be able to assist you. You'll find the good info on that as well through there. So you'll see zip codes are served here and anything like that. And that's also if you're in a trying to use a service that requires a referral, you'll also want to go through 211 on that. And this is a whole list of things that are available. So if we go to something that I think is short supply for everybody right now, mental health counseling, that will list any kind of any kind of service that is available here and how to access it. So those are, that is what we would advise you to use on that. And now we can go to the volunteering question. So the Mid-Ohio Market offers, I've got a notification of a question. Are you able to drop the link of the website in the chat, please? Yes, I am. Google 211 Central Ohio. Yes, this is the one you want. And I'm going to find the chat because I'm good. And I'm also in the chat here. I'll drop the link for the Starfish sign up and the hours for the facility and a couple other things like that. So you'll be able to come back to this to refer on that. But this is a really, 211 is a really good website, so I would advise that time. So Mid-Ohio Food Collective runs our volunteering stuff. It is through Volunteer Hub is the program. It's a pretty intuitive system. You will just find it's this mofb.volunteerhub.com, and this will list a bunch of different things. Now, this lists every facility that they offer volunteering help for, because their goal is to try to spread out as many kind of power users on volunteering. We find typically that a large amount of volunteer hours are actually done by a small amount of people. So we like to kind of encourage these individuals to visit as many facilities as they can. If you are trying to do hours for work or a class or for court, we do offer that. Some agencies will say, oh, we don't take, sorry, if you have to do a forum, we don't want you. That's silly. I don't operate that way. But you can see kind of the schedule that we offer here. We have a few different shifts that we offer throughout the day. So on Thursdays and Mondays, we have our truck unloading, which starts bright and early at 8:15 a.m. And we have volunteer opportunities all the way through 4:15. If you aren't able to work a full shift, just make that known when you register so I can plan for that. Because our facility is not only run by volunteers, I just need to know that for our planning. We actually have 4 student workers right now. And if you are federal work study eligible and you know that, check out the job listings for federal work study, because we are going to hire 2 people in the next month. No, sooner than that, in the next 2 weeks. We're going to start screening candidates next week. So if you're interested in that and you do know you're federal work study eligible, go ahead and apply for that, and we will be reaching out to people we think are good fit in the next week, or probably next week, so that way we can hopefully get that filled. But yeah, right now we have 4 federal work study students, and we're going to eventually expand to 8, but right now we're adding 2 more. And chat notification. Oh, cool. Thank you. But yes, so there will be some to come on that. But yeah, so you'll just sign up. The listing is here for the times. And in general, a brief description of what you'll do is offered through here as well. And you are always welcome to sign up for other agencies through Volunteer Hub. I know a lot of them are really hurting for help right now. And we stop sharing there. So that is generally what I have on the Mid-Ohio Market Program. I have some statistics that are always fun because I like numbers. And it just kind of speaks to the breadth of the organization. In 2020, we distributed 1.4 million pounds of food. That's not that would literally 1.4 million pounds of food, which comes out to about 20 to 30,000 pounds a week. So I assure you, we have a lot, and we aim to give out a lot. Yesterday in the market, we had apples, potatoes, sweet potatoes, broccoli, jalapeno peppers, salad kits. We had fish. We had pork patties in. We had juice and cereal, all kinds of good stuff. And if there's anything that you are consistently looking for that the market hasn't had, like the 2-3 times you've been there, there is a way to let us know. We do have money now to just kind of go buy it. So we're going to start doing that based on what students tell us they need. a lot of these services that are in the student advocacy, I don't know if any of you were in the student financial stability talk earlier, which is the department that we are in, are kind of those services that you just don't think that colleges offer, but they do. And it's because we don't want non-academic reasons to be the reason you don't finish your degree or certificate. And so I have worked here for almost a year now, and I can assure you, if you have hesitancy about reaching out to somebody, or I know there are awkward conversations to have, the people that work here really do care. And they really are committed to student success. And so we really hope that you'll be able to take advantage of not only this service, or you'll be able to give back to this service, or you'll be able to refer people you know. Again, it doesn't have to be people that are college students. If you have a friend or a mom or anybody like that that you know needs their help, come bring them down. We're here to serve. So I guess we'll run it through on questions with all of that. I see somebody is typing, so I will wait. You know what? I'm going to drop this in here now. And there is the hours and info on that. All those things. So I'll hold out. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. You know, when the pandemic hit, we actually had honest conversations at the college of like, can we do this safely? And the answer was, well, we don't know, but we sure can't shut down. So we kept on going, and we're going to keep on going. That's all we can do. So hopefully we can let people back into the facility in the summer. That's our goal right now. But for now, we're going to be doing curbside for this semester. So if you do need a private appointment that is not in the normal scheduled times, that is also possible. And that is, just email me, which I just dropped there. That's my direct email. So, you know, just let me know any kind of help we can give with all that. And then hopefully to come on the SNAP benefit stuff. That stuff is in early phases, but I really think that's going to be something that'll help our students a lot.